Hi everybody, this is Everyday Commentary, and this is a video overview of this knife. And this knife is the Massdrop FerrumForge Gent. If you don't know what Massdrop is a group buy website. You can become a member, and it's free to become a member. And then you choose one of your interests. There are forums there, and you can discuss the items that you would like to buy as part of your interests. They propose what are called drops, and then Massdrop goes out and tries to secure the best deal. The more people that are in on the drop, the cheaper the item is. That used to be their model, and they would go out and they would get stuff made like I had a Spyderco FRN Native 5, and I got it for about $3 or $4 off the street price. And recently they've started making their own stuff. And so what this is, as you can see, is it is a collaboration with FerrumForge, which is Chris and Elliot Williamson. They've made custom knives for a long time. They made mid-tech knives for a while. And the knives are really quite good, generally speaking. This knife was actually designed by FerrumForge. It wasn't made by FerrumForge. Massdrop is selling the knife, and We Knives made the knife. And so what you have is you have a combination of some of the best makers in the industry, some of the best designers in the industry, and a really innovative sort of middleman delivery system. So let's open the box up and I'll show you what you get. The reason I'm going through this, I normally don't do unboxings, is because I think unboxings are stupid. But the point here is that this is a real legitimate knife and a real legitimate product. I've carried this for a couple days, but this is to show you what you get. So you get this nice little knife taco, knife pouch, whatever you want to call it. Open it up. The knife came to me clipped, and yeah, I clip it, and there you go. There's also like a little cleaner in there. It has like the little sheepskin lining. It's a nice little pouch, but really the star here is this knife, and this is the FerrumForge Massdrop Gent. And as you can see, it's a very simple knife. It has G10 scales over titanium liners. The scales are letterboxed. It uses torque screws, so you can take the whole thing apart. It has a deep carry over the top pocket clip, which is a shiny stainless steel clip. It attaches on both sides if you want it. It is tip up carry only, which is probably a good thing because it's a flipper. You can see here that it has a relatively small, very smooth, very rounded over. Let's see if I can get you. There you go. Flipper tab. Flipper tab here is excellent. The flipping action is incredible. This knife has the best flipping action I've ever seen on a production knife. I mean, it is substantially better than anything else. I mean, you can... And it flies out with authority, almost regardless of how you open it. One of the really cool features of this knife is, despite the fact that it has a flipper, it has a real finger choil. You can choke up there. You can see that the knife has a grinder satin finish. I've used and carried this knife quite a bit. The knife is 3 inches. The blade length is 3 inches overall, although the cutting length is a little bit shorter because of the choil. The knife comes in at 2.4 ounces, and here is the amazing thing. This knife is S35VN on ceramic bearings. It's got all the bells and whistles. It's an amazing flipper. It's a beautiful design, and it's $80. This is one of the better knives on the market right now, in my opinion. If you're looking for a great everyday carry and you don't want something big and you don't want something scary, then you should take a look at this knife because it is exceptional. And as you can see, let me give you a size comparison. I'll give you a size comparison with a pretty common flashlight. This is the Olight S1R baton. These make a really great pair. I carried them for most of the week this week, and I enjoy the light quite a bit, and I really enjoy this knife. And let me tell you why. So first of all, I think that the flipper tab is not only the right shape, but it is also the right size. There are quite a bit of variation in flipper tabs, and here's the We Knives Valiant. You can see this is a much wider flipper tab that has jimping on it. It's chamfered, and this one is chamfered as well. I just don't like the shape of this one quite as much. I mean, this one really works. This is a good flipping knife, but I don't like the shape as much, and it's a little too big for my liking. The knife, not the flipper tab. But here, this is rounded over. The shape is nice. It's like standing up here. Ideally, I'd want something that's like perfectly perpendicular to the handle. It gives you a great purchase, and then you can just lightly tap it, and this thing flies open, flies open. The flipper tab is excellent. That's the first thing. The second thing is the knife has a really simple, easy to understand, easy to use, easy to sharpen, easy to strap blade shape. There's no craziness, there's no duplex grind. You can get all the way to the end to sharpen because not only is there a choil for your finger, but it acts as a ricasso. So you got a lot of good stuff going on with this blade shape. Of course, we all like the drop point. There's a reason why it's a classic. The other thing is I love the finger choil here. This finger choil is great. The final thing I really like about this knife, aside from the steel choice, the S35VN, is I like the look. The letterboxing is very good. There are lots of little subtle touches. Like if you notice, there's just a smidge of the lock bar exposed here, but it's always enough to open it and close that knife. Whereas if you compare something like the Wee Knives Valiant, this is basically you lodge your thumb fat in there and you open the lock bar. I'd much prefer a design like this. It just works much, much better. All of this coming together in the package that it does and costing $80 is really freaking crazy. I originally got this knife in a trade, and I traded a Spyderco ZDP 189 Cali 3. And I traded for this knife. I was under the impression that the knife was $120. The guy never told me. It was not his fault. It's my just misperception. But even with the fact that it's $80, I still don't feel like I got ripped off because, God, this knife is awesome. I also have a bunch of Spyderco, so I'm not really going to miss that one all that much. I don't really carry it. This is an excellent knife. It's a really fun knife to open and close. It cuts like a demon. The grind is thin. The size is right. The design is right. The price is right. There's really no bad here. The FerrumForge Massdrop Wee Knives Gent is awesome. If you were looking for a flipper, get in on the next drop. I know that there's another drop in the works, so don't fret if you didn't get one, and certainly don't go pay the crazy high prices on the secondary market right now. Wait and get one. It will be something that you delight in carrying every day. So that's the review. That's the overview of the Massdrop FerrumForge Gent, and a review will be coming soon.